Hello, welcome back to my channel, Kelly's Kaleidoscope. And this program is about my keto-ish journey. And today I would like to talk a little bit about, I promised that I was going to talk about intermittent fasting. So I want to tell you all why I finally came on board, or why I gave in to the big IF, and also about a big mistake that I made. The mistake that I made is actually the reason it took me so long to get here. So I've been hearing a lot about intermittent fasting probably for over a year. I know it's been popular, the term has been popular for many years. But as I began to look at what I wanted to do for my own nutrition, for my own health, for rescuing myself from death and disability, I kept shying away from intermittent fasting, but there's a really good story behind it. And I said I was going to be authentic and I was going to tell you about my faux pas. So that's what this is all about. So I was introduced to fasting actually really early as a child. Just like we had 9:45 a.m. Sunday school, 11 o'clock a.m. morning worship. There was a day for various choir rehearsals. There was a day for various prayers, various Bible studies, and we also had days for fasting. And I belonged to, a couple of churches, a few churches over my adult life. Not a lot of churches, but I lived in different places and I've attended different places. And we've done things like, a half-day fast, a full-day fast, 3 days fast, 7 days fast, 14, 21, 28, and even 40-day fasting. The 40-day fasting usually was sometime around Easter or the Pentecost. And well, to look at me, you can't tell now. I haven't done a whole lot of fasting in the past year or two the way I did as a younger adult. But anyway, my take on fasting was that it was for spiritual and religious reasons. That was the purpose, to seek out God, to know His voice, to gain wisdom about a certain subject, to have a renewal in your life, a revival, a refreshing in your life. And also because I'm a reader, I did also learn that it wasn't just, my church who knew about fasting. I knew that there were several denominations. I knew that there were many cultures and many religious backgrounds and faiths that observed fasting. I mean, even 5,000 years ago, the Greeks were fasting. Any of you who know anything about fasting at all know that many people who practice Judaism fast, people who practice Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism. I mean, the list just goes on and on. But still, there was that thing in my mind that fasting is for a religious or spiritual purpose. And I couldn't understand why I kept feeling so much pressure, and voices everywhere.
You need to fast.
A lot of people make that same mistake because they equate fasting with
starvation,
which is another thing entirely. But anyway, another reason, in addition to that, I kind of shied away from IF because I don't like to join things just because other people do. So why are you on the keto journey? Because I decided to finally. I thought after a period of time that was the best possible course for me at this point in my life, looking at my own health issues and my own disabilities. So that's why I chose it after it had been popular for a long time. Family and friends can tell you I didn't have a computer for a long time. I didn't have a laptop for a long time. I had a flip phone forever. I just don't like to do the bandwagon thing. But once I'm convinced about something, once I have studied it, prayed about it, sought wisdom, looked at testimonials, listened to the experts, and done my own research, then I'm open to have my opinion changed. I wish more people were like that. But anyway, so I was thinking, well, this is something that people are, trying to bring about now, and pretty soon the fat's gonna change again, and I'm not gonna be that person who just does everything just because it's popular. I'm trying to get some. If you heard my or had an opportunity to watch my last video, you will understand this. Everything was so synchronistic. It all worked together that I actually ended up adding IF, or intermittent fasting, because what I was doing needed a boost and needed some help. So it was actually the right thing for me to do. But look at the path it took me to get there. So, I have this knowledge from a child. Also, some of you may know that in addition to being a registered nurse and ordained minister, I actually am this close to having another degree, my bachelor's in religion, religious studies around the world. Hey, go fund me. I just need 6 classes. Anyway, okay. So you find out all these things, you see all these cultures that observe, and it just started coming together a couple of weeks ago. I said, I think I need a boost. I'm not losing any weight. Nothing is happening. What do I do now? And it was almost, I don't know how to explain it. That same day, it came into my mind that all of those years of me studying in the church setting and teaching others and having my own opinions and being taught by others, that some of the very scriptures that I was pointing to could have actually led me this way. Sure, I have the scriptures in there about how Jesus Christ said, that this type of miracle, this type of healing can only come forth by fasting and praying. But see, still to me, that's religious. But I thought about another scripture, one that I taught my own children when they sat at my feet, from the book of Isaiah, and how those scriptures tell you that there is a certain type of fast that our Father has chosen to loose the bands of wickedness, to let the oppressed go free, to destroy every yoke. Then it talks about, dealing your bread to the hungry, covering the naked. But listen to the benefits of the fasting. The scriptures say, then shall thy health spring forth speedily. Your light shall break forth as the morning. Wait a minute, who is it that doesn't want that? Who is it that told me that fasting is only for religious or spiritual reasons? I won't blame anyone. I'm just saying I have a better understanding now, and everything that is taught by the doctors, the experts about intermittent fasting, for those who support it, let you know that, yeah, I'm that candidate with the brittle diabetes, numbers like 300 and 400, hemoglobin A1C sometimes greater than 14, hypertension greater than 180 over 160, sometimes systolic is over 200. I'm a perfect candidate for intermittent fasting and autophagy, which is another topic, another term. We can talk about it another time. Anyway, I did decide, yes, the whole world knows about fasting, and guess what? Everyone fasts. Oh yeah, you fast. Yes, you do. Do you go to sleep? Well, then you fast. Because fasting is the absence of eating. And so with intermittent fasting, I just need to add some time in there, hours before I go to sleep and hours after I wake up. There's several different ways to do it. The way that I chose it in the beginning was the 16-8, where there's 16 hours of non-eating and there's 8 hours of eating. Not that you're eating for 8 entire hours, but a meal or two, or a meal and a snack during that time, shutting off the body from constant eating the rest of those hours, the remainder of those hours, and allowing the body to find fuel in the fat on the body. Because with constant eating, then that insulin and that glucose, well, you probably know a whole lot more about that than I do, but you're causing yourself to hold on to weight. I'm causing myself to hold on to weight. So I thought about this one more time as I was concluding that day, and I said, yep, I know what Jesus said. I know that Muhammad even fasted and taught about fasting at least 3 days a month. I know that Buddha had some extreme views on fasting, and there are various traditions of fast in the Buddhist community. I know that Hindus fast. I know that people around the world, as I've already said, know that fasting can benefit us spiritually, mentally, and physically. So I've admitted to you my faux pas. I've shown you how I made a 180-degree turn. I have learned something even from myself. And yes, I am now on the boat for IF. But guess what I did just to hold on? And there may be a few of you who are the same. You just don't want to give in to popular demand. I changed the words. I altered them just a bit. So if I'm talking to people who really want to know something about IF or intermittent fasting, then I'll use the term because I didn't create it. But because I came late to the game, and because I'm silly and funny sometimes, I've used some other terms for IF. Sometimes I'll say, IF, I'm fine. IF, I'm full. IF, invisible feasting. IF, invisible fueling. IF. And I just go on and on. It doesn't matter what you call it. It can be applied to any type of nutrition plan. You don't have to be keto. You don't have to be paleo. You don't have to be Mediterranean. You don't have to be carnivore. You can do whatever you desire, whatever you and your God and your doctor decide is right for you. But intermittent fasting can benefit you on whatever plan you are on. Thank you for tuning in again. I really wish that you would like and subscribe, and also leave some comments if there's something else that you would like to know about what we're doing right now. Oh, my daughter has joined me. So for the month of July, 31 days, we've already started. We are doing intermittent fasting and OMAD. So I can't wait to tell you those results. That's between my daughter and myself, intermittent fasting and OMAD, 1 meal a day. But also I have an individual challenge. It's for me, but you are welcome to join me. I am doing Polynesian dancing. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And more updates to come. Right now, I just want to thank you again for your attention. I want to move out and get to some of those comments. I want to thank those of you who've already begun to help me, to assist me, to encourage me, to subscribe, to like, to view. And I'm going to go and answer some of your comments right now. I appreciate you. Mercies.